Hello and welcome, this is rooflemonger. So now that Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath has been out for a little bit here, and one of the big introductions to MK11 Aftermath has been the Armour Break mechanic, I figured, hey, let's talk about it. Now the Armour Break mechanic's been a little divisive because, hey, there's definitely big winners and big losers as far as armor breaks go, and that's exactly what this video is about. So in this video, I'll be going over, in basically my opinion only, the top 3 armor breaks and the bottom 3 armor breaks. Some armor breaks are eminently useful across the board, and like you always have to live in fear of them. You know, that's why we got Shao Kahn v3 here. And some, you can just laugh it off. It's not even really a factor, right? And so let's start off with, in my opinion, the best 3. And let's start off here with the showstopper. And that is Shao Kahn Variation 3, the Skewer. I think this is hands down the best armor break in the game. So let's discuss it. So why is Variation 3 Shao Kahn, the Skewer, the best armor break in the game? Well, in my opinion, it's basically this. So this is like a general combo starting structure for Shao Kahn, right? In this variation, he'll hit you with EX Spear Charge, bounce you up, and from here, it is literally the easiest thing in the world to just go and spear you from there. That's going to be, generally speaking, the key breakaway point. If you want to avoid max damage, that's where you're going to want to do it. Now, say they don't break away, you know, certainly not the most optimal damage. You can definitely do stuff like this, like, you know, it's obviously not as much damage. But the thing is here, the Spear Charge, or sorry, the Skewer rather, you can still enhance it and keep comboing from it. Like, you don't have to stop at all, right? So if they don't break, it's not necessarily, the combo ain't over necessarily, right? You can still get your damage in. And hey, okay, what if they do break away, right? Well, first up here, the animation will always play out in full. So you always get that no matter what. It also gets a tiny damage buff here. The damage scaling gets relaxed a little bit when it breaks the armor, so you'll do more damage overall. And in this situation, once again, as we talked earlier, you still get the EX it, and you still get to keep the combo going. So, like, there's basically a no-win situation. You really got to roll the dice as someone who's trying to break away, and just kind of go from there. Now, say he's going for the more full traditional combo. You can break away at that point before the B3 connects, and you'll be mildly safe, like right there. No, that's fine. But you can't break away after it connects. You have to wait till the juggle part's over, and if you do, well, then you're going to get skewered as well, right? It's very low situations where you just actually win out, basically. You got to take a pretty calculated risk on the breakaway, and that's ideally the whole point of the armor break situation, right? So overall, pound for pound, I think Shao Kahn with the Skewer for variation number 3, I think this is the pound for pound best armor break in the game because it encapsulates everything what armor break should be. You know, really making the opponent second guess if they want to break armor or not, because if you get called out on it, he basically gets all the same rewards anyways, and he gets to laugh at you for wasting 2 defensive bars. Next up, in my opinion, one of the best armor breaking moves is Raiden's Summon Lightning. That's this guy here. So it covers a lot of bad spots about Raiden's gameplay. Like, say, if you're in Raiden, that's probably the variation you're going to be in if you're using this. One of the big things people always complain about is back 3-1. You know, you can break out of it, right? Because it launches, right? And you don't get your fancy combo if you're a little slow on the uptake or whatever. Your man can, like, bounce right off them, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, here, kind of whatever, you know? Like, if you don't have your install built in here and you're not launching people proper, then, you know, this has always been a serviceable way to do it. You know, we can burn a bar, get 20%. And, yeah, you're just basically wasting your breakaway if you even try. So it's very good in that regard. And also, as far as his juggle combos go. So when you got your buff up here and you can launch people nice and high and all that kind of stuff, same deal. If you think there's any threat of a breakaway, you can just easily rip him out of the sky, like no fuss, no muss. And that's still almost 30% right there, right? Now, of course, as before, if they call you on your bluff, if they think you're going to do the anti-breakaway move, then hey, you're losing a little bit of damage over a more optimal combo, something like this. Hopefully that's optimal. I don't know. I don't really play Raiden that much. But yeah, so it still invokes a bit of the two-player guessing game. You know, will he, won't he? But still, if he guesses wrong and you didn't break away, it still does a solid chunk of damage. You will not be disappointed if this is all you got, because it's still a big chunk of damage, right? 25% is serviceable. It works. And if they didn't break away, well, whatever. You still got an easy 25% in. You obviously can't take too many of those in a row, right? So yeah, I think just due to its utility, due to the fact that it's just really good in a lot of combo structure, I think this is easily one of the best armor breaks in the game. Also, variation 1 here, the one with Spark Cell. So it doesn't have that move, right? So it can't break armor, but as an honorable shout out, just so you know, even with the bot set to fastest possible breakaway timing, you can no longer break out until Spark Cell is completed. So yeah, that's kind of a big deal. And if you enhance it, you still get like an air jump. You still basically get like 20% before they can break away, right? So it's not technically an armor break, but all versions of Raiden now, yo, he's got your breakaways covered. Because even if you break in this version, he still gets 20%. So yeah, that's really big. And for the last of the three, I think is really good, I have to go to Jade. So Jade is just regular old nitro kick, right? So if you try to break away, hey, it hits. And it does its crushing blow right off the bat, right? So even off the most basic setup possible, you're getting over 30%. That's really good. And here's the thing. So once again, with the two-player interaction, well, maybe I just won't break away, right? You know, ha ha ha, you wasted, you know, a lot of potential damage. I didn't break away. And you just did the kick for nothing, right? Well, keep in mind, the nitro kick has a crushing blow as well if it hits twice in a row, right? So now you have one kick loaded for the crushing blow, and now any potential nitro kick is threatening the crushing blow on top of that, right? So even if you didn't get your big reward, you now have, you know, one in the chamber, and they have to play around with the fact, okay, the next one is a crushing blow, and that's 23%. So it's a basic, you know, once again, two-player interaction. Will they break away? Won't they break away? And even if they didn't break away, you still have something to work with now because you now have the crushing blow loaded up, right? So I think it's very valuable in that regard. Now, before we switch over to the worst three, in my opinion, I am very happy with the armor breaking mechanic overall. The characters I just showed here, Shao Kahn, Raiden, and Jade here, they have very well thought out armor breaking moves, and they work great and enforce that two-player will they, won't they break away game where, you know, okay, maybe I broke away, you got a big reward, and maybe I didn't, and you wasted some potential damage, right? I like that. However, a lot of armor breaks I think are not terribly well thought out, unfortunately. Need a little more time in the oven. But yeah, with that said here, let's go over to the worst. So now for the bad armor breaks. So what on earth were they thinking armor breaks? For Sonya, 4-3. So it's a canned little string combo there, right? Aha, you're going to break away? Not on my watch. Except, that's it. And also, hey, let's look at the damage here. So 188. Now, what if I did the usual thing if I think you're going to break away? I'm just going to dash an uppercut, right? Well, here's the story. That does 192. That literally does more damage than the armor-breaking move, my haha gotcha move. Haha, you're a fool. You played right into my hands, right? Dash forward uppercut, the old thing before the armor break mechanic, literally gets more damage and gets more results. Now, I guess you could say the knockdown's a little better on the forward 3 because the animation will play out in full, but, like, why? What? Well, like, whose idea was this? Was it at the end of a long day and wanting to get out of the office and Sony needed one real quick before everyone could leave? Like, I don't get it, man. Like, the traditional dash forward uppercut method of stopping a breakaway and getting some damage in literally is better than the actual armor breaking move for Sonya. Keeping on with the bad armor break train, so Johnny Cage, the flippy kick. That is your armor breaking move. Hey, armor broken, gotcha. 209 damage, right? But I just do the usual uppercut, it's 247. So once again, the old classic way of just like trying to uppercut to get as much damage in before you break away, that's literally better than the armor breaking move itself because it does not do as much damage as that base uppercut. And Like, why? Once again, why? These are the questions. I have to burn a bar. I have to burn both my bars in this specific scenario here, just to get to the damage the base uppercut does. Like, what is the point of this move? I am literally baffled by it. You get so much more reward just by doing the usual stuff you always did. Like, this is effectively pointless. And for our number 3 on bad armor breaks, we're going back to Shao Kahn. Now, you might have heard me say earlier in the video, I think Shao Kahn's Variation 3 Skewer is the best armor break in the game, and I stand by that. However, the Shao Kahn shoulder charge into the overhead armor break, this guy right here, which can't even trigger sometimes. There we go. I have to like delay it for the bot to be able to armor break in time, right? That is really bad. So it only works in this scenario and this scenario only. They break on the shoulder charge itself. That is it. And then you get the bounce. Any other scenario, it literally does not work. So say we're going to launch him here with back 3, right? That's one of the big new buffs of Aftermath for Shao Kahn is you want to start doing raw back 3s when before, maybe not so much, right? And okay, you're going to break away. Aha, I got you. Oh no, I can't do my armor bouncing move here. What's up with that? Because this move literally cannot come out on anything other than a clean hit. That is it. That's all. So if it hits armor, no dice. Obviously, if you block, no dice, whatever, right? But in this specific scenario, right, I can't run forward and scum grab or nothing. Like, I'm way too far away for that. That's not going to happen. Maybe if I had Skewer in the other variation, which is really good, yes, I could. But in this scenario, I can't scum grab. So my only option is to do shoulder charge into the overhead, except I literally can't do the overhead if I hit an armored person. And if you're breakaway, you're armored. So it's literally basically a dead armor break. It only works in this scenario, and this scenario only, if I hit you with shoulder, and that's what you were trying to break away on. Which is stupid. Like that's too, like fastest possible timing, like that wouldn't even happen. You'd have to like super delay it. And if you super delay it, then you run the risk of it missing entirely, right? Like, it is only really reliable in the situation of you have the bot on literal fastest possible breakaway timing, and that's it. So it's more of a training mode scenario than like anything actual, really, like real. Scum grab, armor break, it's useful. It's not as good as Skewer, because Skewer has like 10 times the hitbox, but still, it has its uses. But this one, man, it is stupid. It needs to be able to come out when it hits an armored foe, otherwise it's one of the most pointless armor breaks in the game. And hey, that's the video. So if you got any armor breaks you think are pretty good, or armor breaks you think are pretty worth less, honestly, hey, let me know in the comments. I think this is a mechanic. While I think the heart's in the right place, I think it's a little undercooked in certain areas and definitely needs some more attention and love over time. Because for some people, you know, for Shao Kahn, hey, it's a big deal. You got to respect it. And for someone like Johnny, who cares? Like, it's pointless, right? So yeah, let me know what you like or what you don't like, and I guess that's the end of this video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Mortal Kombat.